It's your boy SimSportsNATION here, coming back representing Sim Gamer Nation. First and foremost of all, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I drop any new content. Like and dislike the video, and as always, drop a comment. Drop a comment, man. Also in the description, if you didn't see the last video, there's a link to the last video. Check out the last video, man. Now on to the topic, man. You see it? The sports gaming community, preferably basketball. Do we really want realism in this game? Do we really want realism in the game of basketball as it pertains to the gaming, or as it pertains to gaming, excuse me? I'm going to be dealing with primarily the NBA Live community. You know what I'm saying? The NBA, quote unquote, the NBA Live community. And the reason why is because personally, I feel like the 2K community has finally, they've given up the ghost, man. They've given up the ghost. They know who they are now. They don't want realism in the game. Even the developers over the years have gone piece by piece to water the game down. So we're going to be dealing with the NBA Live community. The NBA Live community, when you see them, they're on podcasts, shout out to the NLVC. Shout out to anybody else who may have a podcast that's speaking on NBA Live. I don't know each and every one of them, but primarily when you watch these videos, they actually speak about wanting authenticity or realism in the game. You know what I'm saying? And the question is, one, do they really want this? Do they really want realism in the game? And who are they speaking for? Who is that real NBA Live community? First and foremost of all, do they really want realism in the game? I'm unsure. When NBA Live 19 dropped, we're coming up on almost 2 months now. Almost like a week away, a week and a half away from 2 months. NBA Live, when it first released, especially in demo form, was definitely head and shoulders better than NBA Live 18. But as soon as it released, you started hearing people complaining that they wanted it to go back to NBA Live 18. I didn't understand it. I didn't get it. You know what I'm saying? That people were calling for the game to be patched. It hadn't even been 2-3 weeks yet. It was under a month, not even 3 weeks yet. And people were calling for this to get patched, whether it be contested shooting, which personally I didn't have a problem with. I actually did pretty good with contesting shots. Plus, I'm the type of guy who wants to take his time to learn the game. You know what I'm saying? It's the whole idea of Live 19 is that it's supposed to be different from Live 18. And this is primarily speaking about gameplay. I'm not speaking about game modes. We know that the game is bare bones and void of, real modes. Strictly gameplay. Certain people were having issues with defending when it came to the paint area, the post area. They felt like people were getting layups on them too easy. Once again, I didn't have these issues, man. And my link to my Twitter is in the description as well. I've dropped clips on this the whole time. People complained so much to the point that they started putting out patches. And now, we're now at October, I believe it's the 29th, 28th, 29th. The game is watered down, man. Like, they've watered the game down. It used to be a skill gap between who, because Live is actually based upon you actually hitting the proper sequence of buttons to get your steal, timing, all of that, whether it be blocks, the whole nine. It's not like its competitor, which primarily uses ratings and certain things like that. With 2K, if you try to block a shot, you could try, but or if you try to deter a shot from going in, it's not really you who's doing it. You know what I'm saying? It's really your spacing along with ratings and badges that does it. And Live is more time based. That's what I like about the difference between the two games. But the Live community, whichever community this is, and I heard a lot of the dudes who say they want realism in the game, they actually they actually wanted these patches. And even after the patches were applied, you start seeing people saying, yeah, the game's playing much better now. The game's playing much better, blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking, man, the game's going to play regardless for me, because I was good in the beginning. Now I'm a beast. It's like I'm smacking people's stuff up against the glass with PGs now. I was, I was getting it in before. Now it's a real problem. You know what I'm saying? That's a real problem because I'm not going to say it's too easy, but the skill gap definitely has the gap has been, closed. It's not locked and sealed yet, but it definitely has been closed. If you don't agree with that, I'd like to hear that in the comments, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I think the skill gap went away. I think what the problem is that, amongst the people who are looking for realism in the basketball game, one, they don't know what that really entails. Two, they're not speaking for the actual community. The community is not based on Twitter. The community is not based on Twitch. They're not based on YouTube. Especially the NBA, the communities on both, but we're talking about live, is based on who you run into when you dare go into the lobby. You know what I'm saying? The public match lobbies and link up with people. That's who you find. That's who the community really is. And if we're going to keep this 100% truthful, in the NBA Live community, especially with NBA Live 18, when they brought out that 3v3 lobby, that was the end of it all. And it's carried over into this new title on Live 19. You will find a game all day long in 3v3. And they've even decreased the points to 11 points a game, which you think would kill that mode. It's not even enough touches for everybody to play. But you can find the 3v3, the 5v5 lobby is a ghost town. The 5v5 lobby, which I could not wait for it to come. I thought that was the best thing that ever happened. 4 quarters, 5 minutes a quarter, fouls, no steal spamming, no mashing a button on the steal without being penalized. You know what I'm saying? Getting foul calls, being able to shoot free throws, basically a more authentic representation of basketball. Getting closer to it at least. And nobody wants to play it. In most parts, you have to already come with a 5 of your own and link up with another 5. But you can go to 3v3 and find a game all day long. And that's because the true NBA Live community, that's what they want to play. Now let's jump over to head-to-head. You go to head-to-head, it's 5-minute quarters. I still don't understand how anybody could say that they care about realism and they only play 5-minute quarters. I understand that it could be time constraining, but me, myself, personally, I'd rather play one long game of 12-minute quarters than play 16 BS games on 5 minutes. Because once again, when you reach the real live community, when you really hit that search engine and you find the people out there, nobody's running half-court sets. A post move? They're not using post moves. They're not using playbooks. I mean, to tell you the truth, all they're doing is throwing full-court passes. Zigzags, steal spamming. I mean, this is the NBA Live community. This is who the live community really is. This is who they are. So in my opinion, I don't think that the community, I think EA knew what they were doing when they released this game that people are upset about in the live community. They're doing the numbers off of that server count. They know that the average gamer that plays their game wants that wham bam thank you man basketball. They want that wham bam thank you man basketball. They want it now. They want to button mash it. They don't want to be strategic at all. Get straight to the point. All these other things that dudes want, which I don't have a problem with it. I actually want it and more. They're not going to be able to sell that game to this community. And once again, we'll go to the count. The actual competitor in 2K, and you can see that they're pushing the neighborhood. I mean, they have other modes, which is different than live, but they're not really pushing anything. like I always say, man, I could take this on and on and on. I don't think that the live community, even the developers, are interested in making a game with realistic or authentic basketball representation, man. The real community that's on the internet, they don't want it. Let me know how you feel, man. It's your boy Sim Sports signing out.